Tonight, we take back what belongs to the people.
Entering the city. I got company.
What you just watched was the trailer for one of the most fun projects that I've worked on probably in my lifetime. We prepped for 2 months to shoot for 3 days and edit it in 1 month. And it was just such an amazing process through and through. Now there will be a video dedicated solely to the intricacies of how we edited and brought this whole thing together in post-production. That is not this video. This is the story and the behind the scenes of how we brought this short film to life, what it was like on set with us every single day, and what it looked like from behind the camera. Created with the help of MusicBed, who not only helped fund this behind the scenes, but spent the time to help us find the perfect soundtrack for the short film as well as this behind the scenes. I feel like the majority of filmmaking is just problem solving. It's a lot of improvising just to make the most of what we have. And of course, our problem started at our very first location.
So what's the update?
So we got kicked out. So essentially what we had to do was shift our story to fit our new needs. We took our main location, which was reserved for X1, and we gave it to X2 because we just had to start filming. It was already 2 hours into production and we had nothing. We're essentially reforging this entire place. So this is technically gonna be down there. That way we don't compromise anything in terms of like composition and just cool shots overall. When you're on a production like this, you really want to make sure that everything is pre-approved before you shoot, so that every month that you spend on set has been accounted for.
Scene 2, Echo, take 1, Mark.
On this production, we had a ton of creative freedom. And creative freedom includes last minute ideas. Kyle had brought in this jacket that he'd been holding on to, saving for a really cool sci-fi short film. And we just so happened to be shooting one of those. However, in this unique situation, we didn't have time to contact the client. So we made the executive decision to shoot every scene with X2 twice. Our first take was going to be with our branded wardrobe for the Xteam, and then our second take was going to be wearing this trench coat.
Receiver planted, going ghost.
So again, I just want to note that I am so grateful for this crew and their patience, because not only did they have to sit through every single shot twice, but they kept really high levels of energy and excitement and enthusiasm the entire time, and I just really appreciate it. When you're intending to include CGI into your shoots, it's really important to know your story and to have a storyboard through and through. When you're shooting these scenes, you really want to make sure that you're paying attention to framing and focal length. Thankfully, Kyle was our DOP as well as our CGI supervisor, so he knew exactly what to look for because he was going to be putting those animated drones into the film himself. Well, a couple lines of dialogue and then we're good to go. So this one will be X3, we've got our Wraith.
Yeah, that's good. Action.
X3, I've got a Wraith.
Cut. And just like that, scene 1 was done.
Got it good.
Nice.
We had a few setbacks at the beginning, so we're running like a little bit behind, if you will. I mean, look at these conditions. We couldn't ask for anything better, so we're just gonna push through. This is what we do. We're crazy for it. That's the scene.
That's the scene?
We'll have another one to shoot.
Okay.
As predicted, it was going to be a late night. We packed up our gear around 1:30 and then headed to the pyramids, which, for whatever reason, were not illuminated like we had anticipated, of course. But again, we took it as an opportunity for creative problem solving. As you can see, despite being 4 a.m., morale was still really high. Truthfully, I feel like the problems that we were facing actually helped shape a way better end result.
Action.
We were able to shape the scene with our own lighting, creating our own mood, and having the rain actually gave us incredible reflections, low fog, and it was so perfect, we honestly could not have asked for anything better. And before we knew it, day one was a wrap.
Catch you tomorrow.
Colin, what time is it?
It is 4 a.m.
On the button, buds.
4 a.m. on the dot. Sun's rising, birds chirping. Overall, it's just mind-blowing content.
Yeah.
Couldn't have asked for a better day one. Like, I couldn't have expected it to go this good. So, day one is a wrap. We started day two with our introduction to the Xteam. Now, the short film had an intro to it, but this was the start of the actual sequence of events.
I'm excited to get the other shots from tonight and tomorrow and see what kind of magic we can make.
Life on a film set is very funny, and I don't feel that you can ever be completely ready for what's about to happen.
I'm ready. I'm ready for anything.
Our job as cinematographers is to capture the best conditions possible. But then sometimes a parade of fire trucks go by, and then it starts raining. And so you miss the perfect sunset that is right in front of you. As the director, you try to keep composure emotionally, even though you now need to relight the scene because the sunset is gone and it's dark. Action, watch up.
Entering the city. Going ghost.
Left. That's it? Yeah, it's simple. Now, we had a bit of an issue. Remember, on the first day, we gave away Parker's location to Rekah because we got kicked out of Rekah's location. So now it was time for us not only to improvise our scene and our storyline, but we had to exceed the level of wow that we had already established in day one. Kind of just want to have Parker having fun here because whatever's going to feel most natural to him will come across best on camera, and then we'll just work around that into the story. My approach to producing a piece of fiction is to not push the boundaries of reality so far that our action becomes impractical. So this is where Parker's expertise really started to kick in. Thanks to him, we were able to craft a scene that was both very enticing and exciting for the viewer, but very practical in terms of storyline. Hot damn.
Drone chasing you.
It's really fun to have such an abstract vision and try to overlay it in reality. Action! Now, in order to do this, you have to be really in tune with what the vision and the story is. So Parker's gonna be coming out here, going by, some drones appear in the frame. Now we throw a focus to the drones. Cut! It's also important to just start.
That's gonna be sweet.
I can already feel it in my legs, my butt, and a bit on my head.
Action! Sometimes just getting into that flow state of production allows for new ideas to arise.
It's all in a day's work, baby.
And thankfully, as we were shooting, Kyle was able to come up with the perfect end location for X1. Day two has been all of our parkour. It's all coming together just like way better than I could have ever asked.
Mark.
And action. What's happening here is like this is the finale. So Parker gets stuck in the warehouse. Watchman is like a distraction diversion. Pulls up in the McLaren, distracts all the drones except for the one that he stunned, which is coming back for Parker. Parker's running up here. This is the final planting station, so he just has to get up here, put his detonator on, flick the switch. All the EMPs fire off and the city goes dark. So it's like the most epic final scene. We have to outdo the funicular and the pyramids. So that's why we're just rigging this real hard.
Frame.
It's very hard to describe the exact feeling being on a production with all of your friends creating late into the night. So we see the drones coming full speed, pull back, but you really start to bridge this gap between your reality and action and the reality that you're trying to build on camera. Drones, detonator up, switch. You reach this flow state that's completely indescribable but totally euphoric, and there is just nothing like it.
I don't know, I sort of felt it too, and I was like, this is like the moment when we like hit the detonator. Just like being a part of the story made me feel like I don't even care if it's cold, I don't feel it. It was worth it. I'm so pumped to like put it all together and actually see how this thing looks. I'm so excited to see it.
Yeah, dude, looks crazy.
I think we got some magic here, so we'll see how it turns out.
It's just like, looks like a movie, feels like a movie, feels like I'm walking on air. Can't believe it's 3 a.m. This is awesome. I need to do this forever. With both our opening and ending sequences filmed, we led into day 3, which, believe it or not, ended up being the most stressful of the 3. Now, it wasn't necessarily the last minute location change 12 hours before we started shooting, but the idea and the concept of bringing out a supercar for the shoot, setting up a car rig, and doing a running backflip off the wall. We had some really intense shots lined up for today. We had really big hopes with where this was gonna go, and we put it all on the line. So we have this abandoned warehouse here on private property. We can do whatever we want. Imagine a McLaren sitting there just waiting to save our hero. He's the hero's hero, the people's hero. It's gonna just flick those lights on, give this insane silhouette, and just rip all the way up through here. Underneath another drone, skid out, flip up the suicide door, but not before Parker comes into this room, because he's just such a genius. He's gonna go, he's gonna run, he's gonna hit the button, it's gonna come down, he's gonna go into this room, we're gonna set something up, like a tire, and he's gonna flip over it, get past the drone, and slide out here, just in time for the door to close Indiana Jones style.
Are you ready for it?
Obviously, this is concrete, but otherwise, it's gonna look super killer. And I'm all about that. I'm all about it.
That looks inconspicuous. Look at us. Getting our hands dirty.
It's intimidating
This
looking
is one of the biggest moments.
What makes it big?
Well, we have Parker out here. We flew him out here for parkour. This is his moment, personally requested for, so no big deal, no pressure. It's gonna be okay. This was like one of the dream shots we had in mind when we first wrote this. Like this was like the only thing that stayed constant. It takes a very special type of person to perform in these scenarios. You're in a room with 10 people, everybody is watching every movement, and you're the only one who's even remotely capable of pulling this off. Saying there was a bit of pressure is a bit of an understatement, but of course, Parker managed to make this look effortless. And everything was going so well. Too well, in fact. So well that we just had to push our luck. Now, I personally have never plunged my head through a wooden plank while mid-backflip. But in my eyes, Parker took it like a champ. He got right back up after landing directly on his face, breaking a wooden plank mid-backflip. Parker truly was the protagonist of this film, on and off the camera. So naturally, we rewarded him with more concrete for him to throw himself onto. After a few more hard landings on the concrete, and knowing that we already had our key money shots in the bag, we came to the conclusion that we probably shouldn't be risking Parker's well-being more than we already had at this point.
Well, yesterday I did a few rolls on the cement. Today I did another one on the exact same bruise.
Or did I just want my moment to shine?
Colin, you hit a stunt double?
Stunt double. I'll give the guy credit. Throwing yourself onto concrete does hurt. Thankfully, there weren't any more crazy flips or life-risking shots to get, so we decided to move on and get our close-ups, our tight shots, and our story elements, while we anticipated the arrival of the car. Since we were working on a very limited timeline with the car, we only filmed the essential shots of the car with the actual car. Essentially, we handed our grip Nick the tube light, and magically he transformed into a McLaren. I think it was his Colin. And despite how ridiculous this might look on screen right now, the shot that we ended up getting was incredible. Now the moment we've all been waiting for, the car rig.
Custom built for the truck.
That's awesome.
Another guy in the city.
Oh, yeah.
His name's Larry. He actually helped us build it.
We knew when the car had arrived because you could hear it. So we got as ready as we possibly could for the scene that was about to take place.
Okay, I'm ready.
Gotta talk to him like a race car driver, then he's like, oh yeah.
As a filmmaker, these are the moments that I live for. It's nerve-wracking, but it's equally exciting. I know that we're only gonna get 1 or 2 takes at these shots. It's full out adrenaline. We had our key shots listed for special effects, so we prioritized those. From there, we filmed as much as we could so that we had options when it came to editing. It is quite a rush, literally. But this is what we've sat down and prepared for. And now it's just time to execute, to bring these visions that we dreamed up to life. And then all of a sudden, those fleeting moments of excitement and adrenaline are done. I think that's one of my favorite parts of the entire experience of filmmaking. That moment of, did we get it? It's so exciting and you can't believe what you just captured. There's truly nothing like that moment.
That was sick, that last one.
Actually, I lied. The moment that follows where you get to review this footage with your team and see that you actually nailed the shot that you were going for.
So good.
That is one of the only moments that's going to be comparable to the amount of adrenaline and excitement that you just experienced.
We got her. We got her.
That was intense. Like throughout the whole thing was just so high adrenaline. We had Parker in there literally putting his body on the line for this. And then we have supercars just like ripping around the corner, and the fact that it all came together visually cut so clean in my head, and from everything I've seen from this place, I just couldn't be happier. This has been an amazing set, and I'm glad that we got pushed to this location. I just want to take this last minute or these last couple of moments to again truly just thank MusicBed for supporting us and allowing us to capture these moments that I'm going to cherish forever. Hopefully you've learned something from every up and down of this production. Again, I will be doing a full editing breakdown in the near future, sponsored by MusicBed, so we can talk about the integration of music and the importance that it plays in the entire process. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for sticking to the very end of this video. And a special thank you to Sherwood Motors, to Yoshi, our insane driver, and to the entire cast and crew that worked on this. You are all amazing, and you made this experience just so magical. Thank you. It's been an absolute journey of chaos and everything going wrong, but with the right people, we made it happen, and we made movie magic. Now go get some sleep. Go team. And a big thanks to JBX.